welcome. Theorycrafting Thursday. I, of course, am your host, Ursinity, and I'm here with my good buddy, good pal, fellow Zoid host, Proud.
Hello, everyone.
I meant to say Zoid pilot, but a Zoid host is like maybe some kind of Westworld-esque world where they like pilot Zoids. Because, of course, we are everybody's favorite Zoids podcast. We had another podcast on this lovely network that brought up Zoids, and we were very disappointed that they were not fully aware of the storied history of Zoids, a favorite childhood series of both Proud and I. So today,
Childhood. I'm watching it right now.
Well, both. We both have a revitalized interest in Zoids, and that, of course, is why we're your weekly Zoids podcast. And I am excited to talk about. So today's focus, we're going to be getting back to the OG Zoid stuff. We're going to go from Genesis with Liger Zero all the way up to its ties to the first series, Chaotic Century. But to start, before we get into the deep philosophical conversations about the Zoids universe, we're going to talk about each of our favorite form of Liger. So, Proud, what is your favorite form of Liger Zero?
Of Liger Zero specifically?
Well, it could be any Liger. But
I think my favorite is the Blade Liger, of course. If you take a Liger and you put two swords on its sides, I think that's a pretty sweet configuration. But surprisingly, my favorite form of Liger Zero is not going to be the Liger Zero Schneider, even though that one does mimic the Blade Liger form of weaponry. But the Liger Zero Jaeger with its hyper boosters, I think, I just, kind of like how Sonic the Hedgehog is the greatest fictional character that we all agree about. The Liger Zero Jaeger is the greatest configuration of Liger Zero possible.
All right, I appreciate that I was pre-dragged because my favorite Liger is Liger Zero Schneider, the OG. All right, because
how is that the OG? It's the third form.
It's like orange, and everybody abbreviates orange as OG. It's not red; it's orange. It has red gears, but it's orange. And everybody appreciates laser fangs and laser claws. And it's kind of Blade-ish in that, like, it attacks with physical weapons. Or not physical weapons.
No, you're right.
Weapons.
It's orange. It's definitely orange.
It's definitely orange. I know my Liger Zero Schneider, all right, boy?
Yeah, I mean, in this show, it looks less orange.
Well, maybe your TV's, like, saturation thing is messed up. But
probably, actually.
But yeah, I mean, Liger Zero Schneider, I always appreciate. I'm not gonna make the German joke, but I always appreciate laser fangs and claws. All right, if there was a Dota hero, which we'll get into at some point, our other hobby Dota that we occasionally talk about. If there was a Dota hero that had laser fangs and laser claws, he would basically be from League of Legends. Let's be honest, that sounds like a League of Legends hero. But I would be so about that. I would be playing that all the time. Not for this episode, but
there's this dude who's cosplaying Liger Zero Schneider on Google Images. This is great.
Man, all right. I'm glad that that bit went on because, man, Zoids are the bomb.
Look at this, dude.
I'm not going to look at it because I'm a professional. Also, I don't want to type because,
look at this.
Oh, you sent it to me. Okay, this is good. This is podcast content. I imagine you, kind person, wow, this is basically like a furry that is, instead of like being an anthropomorphic animal, they're an anthropomorphic and mechanical animal. Zoid. Mechanimal. Okay.
Animal.
Anyway, let's talk about Dota 2 because as fun as that was, we should probably get into the stuff that we actually know things about. Not that we don't know things about Zoids, but we know more about Dota. Let's be honest. I'm like a 1K Zoids fan, but like a 5K Dota player. So let's stick to Dota. Okay. All right. So let's just start off. How's your week in Dota been, Proud?
It's been pretty good. I've been still feeling really confident about my play. Started playing Ursa a little bit again, which is going to be why we're playing Ursa. Just because he's like a pretty good hero in general. It turns out you can just kind of play him. Yeah. My Ember Spirit is sick. Just been playing kind of the same old. A little bit more Life Stealer, a little bit more Ember Spirit, and just trying out the Juggernaut, the Ursa, and keeping my Jug builds. I've been playing like a lot of different Jug builds now. Like I feel pretty confident in that like any game I can choose between any of like 3 or 4 different builds and be like pretty good with them. So I kind of I've been kind of like pursuing the mastery that I have on Lone Druid with other heroes. Like thinking, oh, like maybe is there some other hero that I can spam and find some like fucking unknown depth to them. And I think I'm getting there with Juggernaut just on like the sheer variety of like builds and like little things you can do.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always appreciate that. I know when I'm in a pub, I just assume like the Jug is going to do like a Battle Fury build, but I like that within our team. It's like, we can pick a hero like Jug or like LD, and it's like, all right, we first phased it, and especially with Jug now since I play it mid, it has so much versatility where it's like, all right, we can play it safe lane, we can play it mid, we can play the classic like Proud build, like the Vanguard Yasha Diffusal, or we can do like a farming build of Battle Fury, or we can do all kinds of weird builds. So
this, like,
I'm all about it.
Stuff with the Maelstrom now that people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The Maelstrom stuff I haven't personally tried, but I've seen it work in some pub games that I've been in. I don't know if they've been games with you, but I've definitely seen it work. So
I don't know how I feel, because like part of it is that it's anti-armor, which I totally I totally get. But then also Battle Fury is sort of an anti-armor item as well, because the cleave pierces armor. Like a lot of, when I go Battle Fury or when I'm against Sven, I will always go Battle Fury. Or I guess now maybe I'll start going Maelstrom, but like I'll do that and I'll just like only Omni when he's in a field of creeps, and I'll just like hope that I don't bounce on him and shit. And that actually like works pretty well, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have to play test it a bit, honestly, because like I was playing a lot of Jug like right around last episode. Well, definitely around last episode because that one we pre-recorded. But in the last couple of weeks, I played a lot of Jug. But in the last week or so, I've played a few Jug games, but I've mostly just been playing a lot of like random mids. Like I played a few PA games, a few Tinker games. We even played a Sniper game, which let me actually look at my profile. I don't know when the last time I played Sniper before that was, because I do not play that hero at all. And like, luckily,
I could tell in game. I was like, this is a person who's never played Sniper in their life.
So the last time I played Sniper was 2 days ago. Before that, do you want to hazard a guess what when the last time I played Sniper was?
I want to say a year and 2 months.
It was in July 2015, so pretty close.
Yeah, I'm really good at everything I do. So
yeah, perfect. And so it was fun, honestly. Like it took me like a solid 20 minutes to like internalize like the range of shrapnel and kind of like what I had to be doing. But
yeah,
the heroes, like we picked it against OD, of course, because like they picked OD and it was like, oh boy, what do we play? Because I want to play TA, and I was like, there's no way I'm playing TA OD matchup. And so Sniper OD was quite effective, except for when they ganked me. But other than that, it was quite effective.
I was a little afraid to get the Sniper because they had Sand King, and Sand King is really good at getting up in your shit and then also not dying for it.
Yeah, that was the first time I died, I think it was the Sand King gank, and then I died because they had a Night Stalker and it hit 4 minutes, and it was like, oh boy, I'm a sniper. And granted, I bought like Phase Boost Windlace, but still, it was rough.
Windlace is the best item in the fucking game.
Yeah, it actually hurt so much when I sold my Windlace for a Scotty, but I was like, man, I wish I still had my Windlace.
Worth it? Have my Windlace back? Like,
yeah,
we got SNY, dude.
Yeah, but so that was fun. I enjoyed it. I actually thought about going Manta that game, but then I was like, I really shouldn't do that because I need an MKB too. So it's like, I'm gonna.
Snipers is like the only ranged hero I still see SNY on, but I do think SNY is really good on him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I thought about it. But so yeah, I've just been doing a lot of different things. I've been leveling up my Smurf, so I'd have something to practice on and have like some stress-free ranked games. Yeah. That's gonna take a while though, because like I've just been playing party games like whenever I'm playing actual unranked. Yeah. And like honestly, I haven't been playing that much Dota. We talked about this on the Wednesday show, but like this patch has gone on for so long that like other than team practice, which obviously is very fun, like I don't enjoy solo queue nearly as much as I normally do. And like you talked about this also, like obviously like we love Dota, but like this patch is it's just exhausting, honestly. Like even though I switched positions, so like it's not like you've just been playing carry all patch, but like even after switching from supporting half the patch or like 3/4 of the patch into playing mid, like I'm already kind of like, other than like my purely mechanical learning and like learning new heroes, there's really not like that much that I'm super intrigued with this patch. So I've been like playing, I talked about this Wednesday, so I'll be quick, but I'm playing Tomb Raider, the new one, because I got it on sale, and boy, that game is so fun. And like it gets my inner collector. It's because like there's all these arbitrary little things, and oh god, that game is
so
like
good. Vista points and shit like that?
No, there's like hidden tombs that you can go into that are optional, and like there's secret weapons that you get if you like pick up the items from certain tombs. and there's all kinds of like hidden random things. Like there's all this backstory, and it's just like honestly a really like relaxing, fun game. And the stealth in it is like I play it not because I'm looking for a challenge. Like Dota is my challenge game. So when I play Tomb Raider, like I play on like the average difficulty, and not like I'm playing on easy, but
Yeah.
like the stealth isn't like it's fairly forgiving, and like the weapons are all effective, and like it's just a good time. Like it's just a
Yeah.
really fun game.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's cool. Makes me want to play Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl because we talked about that last week too. But
yeah. I've never played that game, but I know of it, and
yeah,
I've played the Metro games. So
yeah,
anyway, but yeah, so that's been Dota for me. Honestly, it's just been a lot of different heroes. No real like, I'm not really sticking with anything. Like, again, I'm playing Marana. Played a bunch of Tinker games actually. That's probably the standout in my week, I would say. I've only played a few games on my main account, but I've played a couple on my alt. And the hero's just fun. I've like officially written Lena off completely. Honestly,
yeah,
like I've tried to make her work. I've tried so many different builds, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But like when it does work, it's not working because of the hero. It's working in spite of the hero.
yeah.
And it's just a bad feeling. So
No, I
like,
know. I mean, that's a lot of the Lone Druid games I play. I'm like, I mean, like Lone Druid does do some unique things. Like he can normally win a lane and get a solo kill, at like
yeah,
7 minutes of the game that no one else can. But beyond that, a lot of the stuff when you're doing well, it's like, man, this could all go south in like 1 fucking second if anything wrong happens.
yeah. Oh, that's how like so many of my Alina games go. It's like if my lane goes perfectly and I'm doing the standard build, it's like okay, I killed them right when I hit 6. They roamed on me, and sometimes I'll kill both like the mid and the person aggressing on me, depending on who it is, and everything's going solid. And like my laning mechanics are good because like I've played so much of the hero, but then like they're just so easy to kill. It's like all right, I have to use Yules to kill somebody. If I don't use Yules to kill somebody and I use it to save myself, then I'm probably gonna die anyway. And I'm slow, and my all my animations take like 6 years, and I'm squishy because there's no way to like build into health, but also hit your peak. Because like now you have to force yourself to peak earlier because of range drop. It's just like there's so much pressure to play perfectly and so little reward. And like if you mess up anything, it's just like okay, I'm gonna feed for the rest of the game. So yeah, she's officially off the list. I'm not even gonna bother trying her unless like it's some very specific like anti counter push pick.
Yeah,
But like even then, it's like okay, well pick Tinker or pick Marana or pick Sniper or pick Alk. Like there's just so many problems with the hero. So rest in peace. Played a few PA mid games. That was fun. No other real
yeah.
standouts though.
I feel like PA has dropped off a lot. Not in terms of gotten worse, but I just don't see her really. Like in pro games, I don't remember the last time I saw PA. I mean, there probably were some I just missed it, but
It's
I don't know.
definitely
Am I
less
wrong?
than anything else. Yeah, I mean she's still in the most played, although she did lose out to Pudge officially speaking. Um, but she's still the second
Just
most played.
barely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see her a lot, but not as much as I did like a few weeks ago. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
But man, going mid PA and just going like PMS bottle Blightstone phase, and then getting like rushing into your what's it called
So
Deso, yeah. Or sometimes I get Aki too if I want to have like an extra couple hundred health.
yeah.
And boy, it's
And no,
just like
that's my thing with PA, man. Like when I play PA mid, I don't go the fucking Vlads, I don't go Vanguard, I don't go Bassi, I just go like fucking Wand into
yeah.
Deso
Oh
straight,
yeah,
and
wand
it's
of
like
course.
so good. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
the
like Wand
only
raindrop, like you're fine.
yeah, the only time I've really picked PA mid is just as a counter pick to AM, basically. That was really my only like
Yeah.
PA
I
mid
think
game
it's a
recently that
counter
like made
invoker
sense.
too. Let's fuck up an invoker.
Yeah, it's funny. It's Evoker. I had a really bad time. I played PA versus Death Prophet, and that
Ugh.
sucked. That was miserable. I forgot that
Yeah.
people still pick Death Prophet, and boy,
Right?
like we lost that game for a lot of reasons. But like the Death Prophet, literally, like it was unplayable. It's like playing Alk versus Death Prophet, except like a little better, but still terrible.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, Death Prophet, what a hero. Um, yeah, that's been my week in Dota. Nothing too exciting. No real standouts. All right. So on that note, let's hop into our segment for this week. So
Which note?
well, on the note of us hopping into our segment, the segue note, as I like to call it,
Okay.
we're gonna talk about playing things that you don't like to play, dare I say, hate to play, for the sake of winning. And I would say among .p, there are some show hosts that are more dedicated to winning, and some that are more dedicated to having fun. and playing the stuff they like. And I think Lena is a good example of, although I wouldn't put myself in that second category, she is maybe my exception where it's like I try so hard to make her like relevant, and it just like
you're not willing to just abandon a hero because it's not good.
I'm like one of those weird parents that's like, my son's gonna play football, or like, oh, my daughter's gonna be in show pageants, and like I'm trying to force Lena to do that, and it's just not working. Like she's just like, she only has like one leg or something, so
and like work at Subway and just not worry about it and just live like a chill life. And you're like, you're gonna go to college, young lady.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Lena for me. I'm like the obsessive parent that's trying to get her to work, but she just doesn't. So
she just wants to, have her apartment with her friends. Go out on weekends. It's fine. Like that's a life you can lead. But Tiger Mom over here.
Yep, Tiger Mom. That's what they call me within .p. In case you guys were wondering, actually, they just call me Mom, and nobody really calls me Mom except for Katya. So God bless. All right. Anyway. So what are heroes that you hate to play that you do play? Proud. AM. Oh, Drow is a good.
I don't hate AM. I just don't play it often.
You just avoid it every single. And actually, not recently, because you've been like, oh, I got to play more AM. But oh my God,
I wouldn't say avoid it. No, okay,
there were months where you avoided it.
I wouldn't. No, avoid is incorrect. It was just that like
you hated it.
Okay, no, like. Okay, so I'm specifically thinking of the game where I played Chaos Knight, where you're like, this is such an AM game, and I'm like, nah, fam, Chaos Knight. And you were like, he's an idiot. And it was the perfect Chaos Knight game. And I feel like that's colored all of your, you revisionist history the fuck out of my AM history.
Admittedly, I am biased because I love playing AM when I do play carry, and I still want to practice him as a mid, but he is... I always would see opportunities to pick AM, and you would pick like any other hero, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But like, even though AM is not that good this patch, honestly, like he has some core weaknesses.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's definitely in that like middle ground of like pickable, but not like stellar. Yeah.
Anytime you say core weaknesses, I want you to know how hard I like restrain myself.
Why?
I want to say like, well, he has even more support weaknesses.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I thought that was the joke, but I was like, oh, that's a low-hanging fruit. He's not going to go for that
That's
one.
Why I restrained myself.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I do, too. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't make that joke. And then I end up making the joke in, like, out of the time.
you give the meta say. Like, you acknowledge the joke, but, like, you don't actually make it. You just let people know that the joke did exist in some point.
Exactly.
That's the meta say. That's, You gotta put out the meta mention.
That's a good turn of phrase, meta say, but the meta mention. All right, but I just feel like AM is like, I just feel like he's a really good hero.
You feel like I don't like him, and that's fair. At this point, I do acknowledge that AM is not one of my better heroes, for certain. And what'd you say?
I think AM is fine. I mean, I wouldn't put it in like your top 5, but I think it's fine.
I definitely tilt way more towards fighting with him than anyone that.
That is true. Great. I do remember in our last practice, you rotated and you tried to get a kill with level 1. This is like the core. This is the biggest thing I noticed with people that don't play a ton of AM is they way overestimate the damage this level 1 ult does.
No, you're right.
If you like look at it numerically, it is the most garbage ability. It does 0.4 per mana lost, which is like, it equates to normally like that's before the 25% magic resist that most heroes have. Like on a Storm, who's like the classic counter pick, let's say like you're level 6 and he's level 8, and he has like 1,000 mana pool, let's say, to be generous, assuming he has mana boots and like a null, and he's used his soul ring. You're gonna do, again, let's say he's missing everything, you're gonna do 400 damage. And then minus 25%, 300 damage, and that's it. And like that's assuming he has literally no mana. Like, it is such a terrible ability at level 1. I still skill it, to be honest, because it's good just to finish people off, and it does AOE damage. But I always see people going for kills with level 1 AM ult, and I'm like, what? You are not gonna get that kill, buddy. You're just gonna miss like 2 waves of CS and mess up your equilibrium. But anyway, I think your AM is fine. It's just.
It's not my best, that's for sure.
It's like a flub AM, because flub would just try to fight even on a hero that's not supposed to fight, and it'd be like that.
Though there was one like rotation I did mid on AM early game where I did the like level 1 mana void thing, but I got like a triple kill and like won the fight.
Oh yeah, it works sometimes.
It works sometimes. Oftentimes it does not. But I mean, that's I'm working on it.
I'm glad because I love AM on my team. And also, I think the hero's going to get buffed next patch. Because
for sure.
He is like a middle tier carry right now, and there's so many like exceptional carries.
I don't know. There's so many shit carries, man. Like,
well, that's true too. That's for sure.
Fucking Wraith King. Oh my god, this hero.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Wraith King?
Yeah, not a carry. That's
he doesn't do that. He certainly has not something that's going to carry a game. Anyway, yeah. So things I hate, like originally, like I hated Drow Ranger. I just like her auto attack. Like no one likes that auto attack. It's just fucking infuriating.
Yeah,
and like it's so easy to get. Oh god,
what?
I had to burp. It's so easy to get in a position on Drow where like, oh hey, I don't do damage right now.
Yeah,
like you built like 1 too many defensive items, and there's like no actual clear item on Drow to just make your like, I don't know. It's not like PA. Like you get Deso and then you do an insane amount of damage. Like what does Drow get for damage?
Levels, butterfly,
right?
E-blade,
like butterfly, not really E-blade. Like it's not gonna help you right click.
That's the roll and build.
Yeah. I mean, E-blade's cool, honestly, but yeah, it's just like it's not just like, oh man, I don't do a lot of damage. Let me get my next damage item. Like it's all so game dependent, and you know, like maybe Daedalus will be right, maybe MKB will be right, like, and then if they get dodge, and then you need a defensive item, but you also need MK. It's like it's really easy to get in a weird position. Anyway, I just didn't like Drow. But then I was like, yo, I gotta fucking play this hero. There's no way around it. And in my climb to 5K, I was like, all right, just fucking learn it. And now I like Drow a lot. So like, it kind of turned what I hated into what I liked. But then also like, I think I wouldn't say I hate playing support, but I definitely feel like I'm wasting my time because like,
because you don't have money.
No, because like I mean my greatest skill as a player is like playing carry. Like if I'm like I need to get better at Dota, I'm not gonna practice support. Like that doesn't fit any of the checkboxes of what I need to get better at, right?
Yeah.
So I just like, I don't know. Whenever I play support, I feel like I'm just wasting my... Like, if I played support in an unranked game, I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing with my time? This is not helpful.
Yeah, I've been feeling like that recently, because it used to be a treat. All right, so when I was a support player and I would play an unranked game, either like in a stack or in solo queue, or even in a ranked game sometimes, and like get to play a core role, or pretty much be forced to play it, depending on the circumstance, it'd be like a treat. I'd be like, oh yes, I get to play a core of this game. I get to have fun and have farm, and I get to play one of my heroes, whatever. But now as like a mid player and like occasional safe lane player, if I have to play support, although obviously like, I climbed to 5K almost exclusively supporting, like I'm very confident in supporting, it feels like I'm wasting my time and or dulling my senses. So that's why like every time I have to play support now, I play roaming Mirana, because I'm like, all right, I play mid Mirana all the time. At the very least, this is going to help me get arrows. And last time I played that too, by the way, I got a compliment by our Chinese SF. He was like, yo, good roam. I was like, God bless, dude.
Did you hit an arrow that game?
I hit so many arrows. It was actually maybe my best game arrowing. I like dominated mid. Oh, God, it was beautiful.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, don't expect it to happen ever again. But
I really expect very little out of you on the regular. So
it was one of those games where like I would just throw arrows and they would just connect miraculously. Sometimes,
right.
Like someone would like blink into the path, or like I was working on predictive arrowing. So like they had an AM on the enemy team, and like I've played enough AM to know like the optimal farming patterns. So like I just find out where he is and then arrow into like the creep camp that he's going to be at and hit him, and then we'd kill him. Or most of the time, I would hit him and then nothing would come of it, and I would just scare him. But either way, it was satisfying.
Man, do you remember that kill I got when I was on Ursa? I saw Luna farm 1 camp, and I was like, yo, she's going to be here. And then I just like walked into the trees on the Ancient, and she walked into me, and I killed her.
Yeah, I actually do remember that.
I'm so fucking good.
Predictive Dota is the most satisfying kind of Dota.
Yeah, dude. Like, when you see an AM and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to sit at this camp, and then he blinks there like 20 seconds later, and you're like, hello. And he just fucking dies.
Yep, I remember I used to pick Windrunner against AM all the time, because I would just like, once I have, either I would smoke in with just like whatever my first item is, usually Deso, or I would like have Deso blink, and then I would just like blink over the trees because I knew he was already in there, and then like shackle and Deso him, because I was like, you're not gonna have Blink now, especially if he's a bad AM and he doesn't have full points in Blink by the time he's jungling. Oh boy, that's the dream. So here's I hate that I played for the sake of winning. Thinking about it as a mid, I like them now, but when I first started playing mid, I really didn't like Mirana and I really didn't like Jug. And I dislike those heroes because of like their fundamental. I dislike Jug in general, but I dislike Mirana fundamentally because I was like, her ult's kind of like whatever, and her arrow is very like hit or miss in a literal sense. But then as I became to play her, I came to love her. So I like her a lot. And Juggernaut, I've said this on many, many shows, many, many times, but fundamentally I think the hero is boring. But after playing him, I mean, I like farming, and he's a real snowball mid. I'll say that. Yeah. It's really easy to just dominate and then just keep dominating.
His auto attack is just so like fulfilling.
Yeah, it makes good sounds.
Anytime you get a CS with that, you're just like,
yeah,
perfect.
And once I found a build that I really liked, then that made it a lot better. Because Jug, I used to have the problem all the time. It was one of the main frustrations with the hero was like I just didn't know what to do, especially if I was mid. Like, the first few Jug mid games I played, it was like terrible. Like I just built like garbage items, and I don't even know what I did. Yeah. But then like I found out like the phase bottle drums build, and like it's so good, and like a wand in there too.
The drums is great.
Yeah, I've been skipping Aki also, and. It's just great. Yeah, man. The drum.
My only issue with skipping Aki with like a mid Jug is it's like way harder for you to take mid tower.
Yeah, it depends on what team I have. Like, I'm not logged into my Smurf on Dota buff, but I recently played a game on that, and where we had like a Luna or something safe lane that was gonna have the Aki, and like we started grouping together anyway. But I just like having Wand even more so than Aki. Just because like, I want that on-demand mana, because he does have so many like random mana problems if like you miscalculate just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun on Jug, and even Sniper. Like I hate Sniper, but it was the pick the other day, so I was like, sure, I'll play it, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, when it comes to supporting, I don't have my list up right now off the top of my head, but like I hate Warlock. But if I was a support player, I would be playing Warlock right now.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't get away with not playing Warlock. I wouldn't be playing Pudge, though. Actually, I might have had to learn Pudge. I'm not a big fan of Ogre either. So I'm pretty opinionated, but it's mostly with the heroes that I'm losing to, not the heroes that I'm playing.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
And like the heroes I really hate, I just refuse to play. Like Pugna, I will never play Pugna in my entire life. Like, I don't hate myself nearly enough to play that god-awful hero.
Yeah. See, that's the issue with the Flatline special. It's like, whenever I want to suggest it, I'm like, alright, who plays Pugna? And everyone's like,
Flub will play it.
I'm sure he will.
Or Faf will play it. But someone could learn it. It's just not me.
Scrunk plays that a little bit.
Yeah. Also, they nerfed that, because now you can't, because it crepifies Tombstone.
Yeah. I mean, that was such a minor part of the strategy, but...
Yeah, I mean, but occasionally it's significant.
Sure. That's fair.
Yeah. I'm trying to think so those are my real heroes that I hate. And then there are some carries, but carries similar, like, if I don't like a carry, I just won't play it.
Yeah.
For me, it's mostly that I like a lot of heroes that are just not good. Like, right now.
Right. I'm trying to think if there are any supports that are really good that I just like hate to play. I feel like if ever a support is good, I just like it. I guess I wouldn't play. I don't know. Like, I don't like Dazzle. I don't think he's bad or anything. I am not a Dazzle. Like, any part about my play, it is not Dazzle. I was standing in for some team and I had to play Dazzle once. It was like a bunch of 5Ks and 6Ks, and they were like, you just play Dazzle, and I was like, oh no. This isn't gonna go well.
You gotta do the duo mid dazzle thing that they did to me. That's like the Proud dazzle. Is you just level poison touch at level 1, and you just sit mid and poison touch and harass. Oh my god.
Yeah, ask me how I want to play dazzle. The answer is going to be poison touch.
Yeah, it's so good now. Honestly, like every time they buff poison touch, because like people were just skipping it completely. Man, that skill is so obnoxious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I hate Viper and Razor. Those are the two mids that are standouts.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Razor player, can be honest with you. I think I played it once, and it was an absurdly easy win, and I was like, never again.
I like Razor. I don't hate enough to like refuse to play it if it's the pick, because he's such a good counter pick in certain matchups.
Yeah.
But Viper, like, unless we're in like a tournament or like a gun's being held to my head, I'm not gonna play Viper. Like again, like I don't hate myself enough to do that to myself. Like Jesus Christ. So that's Viper for me.
Yeah,
And Razor,
literally my only Razor game was in 2014. Played with you and Skrunk and Creep, and that was a very easy fucking game.
yeah. Oh gosh, now I want to look for my last Razor game.
You are in this game. Oh no, this is Skrunk on Anti-Mage. Skrunk is 8-0 on Anti-Mage of all things, and his item build is Treads, Battle Fury, Manta, Heart, Rapier. So that was that game.
So I haven't played Razor since 2015. Also,
I said 14.
yeah, you got me beat. I had a Razor game in 2012 that it says I built an Octarine core on. So
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
There was some item that like changed or something, and that shows up as Octarine. Oh, was it in one of like the weird modes?
It was in Grieveling.
Yeah. So then that mode, like some of their item IDs were changed around because they had like weird items.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
Grieveling.
it also says I had Guardian Greaves. But before that, I had a lot of like Vanguard games. I don't know why, but that was like 2012.
Yeah, old
So,
school Vanguard OD classic.
yep. And then tons and
Vanguard
tons of
Viper.
Deso.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, Deso Butterfly. Yeah, Saint Genasha. All right, I actually kind of like don't hate Razor nearly as much as I used to. I'll say that because like now that Dragonlance is a thing, like the hero looks so much more fun. And by fun, I mean playable. But yeah, so I think we can both agree that like there are tiers to the system. It's like, all right, sometimes you just got to win, so you got to play what you don't necessarily want to play. But there's no shame in just refusing to play certain heroes. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, there's only
Yeah.
shame in like picking techies. Like that's the only shame I would prescribe to Dota.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, there's definitely other points of shame, but I think that's the only point of shame we'll agree on, at least.
All right, what? No, throw me at least one thing of point of shame that I'll disagree with on you with. Disagree with you on.
If you accidentally delete one of your own items or get one of your items stolen when you're jungling, you drop tranquils and like a bounty hunter steals it. That's shameful.
Yeah. There was one game I was playing with a friend, and they were just like, "Oh, do you want to play a game?" And I was like, "Sure." I was having like a really shitty day, and I logged on and I was playing Axe, and I died, and then someone killed my tranquils, and I was like, "I'm gonna abandon this game. Sorry."
Yeah.
And they were like really mad at me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm having a shit day, dude. I'm not gonna play this game.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not gonna have a worse day because of this.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hang around in this game where I'm already feeding. Like, you are better off with me giving you a free out here."
Yeah, I played. God, I can't remember what hero I played. I think it was a Rubick game where I stole a jungling Axe's boots twice because I would just pick him up and lift him over the tree line and then walk and get his boots and then leave.
Oh my god.
It was great. Yeah, the other shameful thing is like if you miss an ult, like if I actually did this recently during a team practice when I played Magnus. Actually, it might not have been team practice. It might have just been a game. But like, if you ult before blinking on like a Tide or a Magnus or
I
something,
wouldn't call that like that's not shame. Like, that's embarrassing. But I wouldn't be like you are a bad person.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is
like
more
there's a
embarrassing.
difference between making a misplay and being a techies player, right? Like those aren't equivalent acts.
It's definitely tiered also. Okay. So on that note, let's hop into what we're actually playing this week. Proud already talked about it. We're gonna be playing Ursa because Proud's been practicing it, and the hero we haven't played in a while, and the hero's actually like really strong, and he's strong in that like he's a counter pick, which is a special kind of strength. And he's very self-sufficient. He opens up a lot in the draft.
Yeah. Because I mean, so much of like meta, I guess not even like meta drafting, but just like so much of everything right now is based around like being able to do like aggro tri lanes and aggro dual lanes and just like be really fluid with the way your lanes go. And if you have a self-sufficient safe laner like that, like your supports are totally free to roam. Your safe laner can like bully their off laner out basically by themselves, which is a fucking absurd asset.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I mean, it opens up a lot of stuff just in our draft. Like we can rotate our supports over to like the off lane or to me because I'm getting dual laned every game, or like you can just keep one support with you and then you just kill. Or if you have all three of you in the safe lane, like that's just a chain kill lane. Like you're just gonna kill whoever over and over again, in like with rare exception. So I'm all about it, dude. Like I love having Ursas on my team, unless they're in the jungle. um, and to be paired with that, I'm gonna be playing Rubick. So I'm not gonna be playing a mid this week. I'm gonna go back to my roots and play support because that's much easier to do in a pub in the sense that like we can actually pick it and not have people get mad at us because you don't want to be that two stack that takes all the carry or all the core roles. Don't be those people. So yeah, I mean, I've talked about Rubick at length on the show. Rubick's just really good. Specifically for this combo, though, telekinesis into Fury Swipes and Echo and Earth Shock, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, Ursa.
Is just it's the kill potential is wild good. So
Yeah.
it's really strong. I know we've run it as a team, and I've seen it run in pubs all the time. Like it's one of my favorite Ursa combos by far.
Yeah, no, it's super solid, and Rubick is kind of unique in that he sort of does have like big. He's a really good team fighty support, but not because he has like a big long cooldown ultimate. So like Ursa wants to be fighting all the time, and Rubick also kind of wants to be fighting all the time, but he's like the one support where that isn't based around, like his crazy ultimate. Although I mean it is his crazy ultimate, but it's not like a black hole or something. It's like your black hole and your Earth Spike and your Burrow Strike and your RP, not like Silencer's one global silence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rubick does have that X factor element too, where it's like, all right, they think everything's going fine, but they have this Rubick to worry about, and they're like, oh, what did he steal last fight? I don't know. Oh God, and so it's nice to have that, and I've long.
Just like in the middle of all that shit, creating distractions, so they're trying to deal with the Ursa as fast as possible using all their big spells, and Rubick can get like a nice steal off, like that kind of shit.
Yeah. And also, like, one of the big things about Rubick is that you can just pick him, and like almost every game he's gonna have something good to steal, and even if he doesn't, like his kit's still like just consistent and good.
Yeah.
And he's like he can rotate, he can safe lane, harass, he has skill potential, he scales decently. So I'm all about the hero. He can do he can't do a ton of different item builds compared to some supports, but he can do a few. So he's just consistent and he's good, and you can never go wrong with stuns.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Stuns are very good.
Yeah, especially when you can get multiple of them, because like this one of those things that like the reason why Rubick is strong is because at level 6 he can have 3 levels in his nuke, 1 level in his stun, sometimes 2 depending on your build, 1 level in his passive, 1 level in ult, and then with that 1 level in ult he can take somebody else's max level stun. So like he could effectively be a level 9 hero at level 6 if like if you think about it that way. Like that's his big strength, is that like he can have at level 7 a max level nuke, a stun, and another max level nuke or stun or an ult or what have you. So that's the real like strength of the hero. That's something that like I didn't get. Like even though I was a Rubick player, like that's something that until it was like explained to me, I was like, oh, okay, that actually does make sense. Anyway, that's enough about Rubick. We played him before, so let's talk about Ursa.
Oh no.
Oh yes, let's talk about Ursa. Let's do it.
Okay. I like Ursa.
Okay, that's a start.
He's good.
Why is he good?
Many damage.
Many
damage for not many damage on items. Doesn't need a lot of damage items to do many damages.
That's exactly what I want out of a safe laner, actually. The less items necessary to do the damages, the better.
So he can pretty much focus exclusively like all his items on like enabling items, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. He always has the tools to do a fucking shit ton of damage, but he doesn't always have the tools to deal with being kited out like super hard. So kind of like the way you want to build it, at least item wise, is almost exclusively around whatever items can get you in there and can make it so they can't actually just like run away from you and avoid your damage and that sort of thing. So like blinks and phase bootses and windlusses, shit like that, bashers in general, like that kind of thing. Orb of Venom even is good if it's like really slot dependent. Like there are so many tiny items that help you so much these days.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know we were in practice and you were playing Ursa, and you're saying that like there's just too many small items to buy that are too good. Like you just or like getting a Blightstone to kill Roche fast.
Yeah,
actually those get halved now, so that's probably not that effective.
No, that's not that great, honestly.
Yeah.
I like even like Aquila. If like I really like getting Aquila on this hero because I feel like you need a little bit of attack speed so that you don't have to spam overpower anytime you want to right click anything.
Hmm.
But I think that's just way too much. Like I'm looking at other Ursa players and like none of them go Aquila at all. And like just get like raindrop for the mana or like clarities and mana boots and stuff. Like mana boots from your teams and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of weird stuff with the hero. There's something that I've been picking up, which is like not really skilling Fury swipes almost at all. Like maybe getting it at 1 or getting it like you get it at level 1 for the most part, but I don't really skill it up that much past the first point. At least early on, like Earth Shock, especially if you're like a jungling Ursa, that's fine. Like if you're just trying to kill Roche, at 4 minutes, like Fury swipes and overpower, sure. But Earth Shock like helps you get kills so much. Its mana cost doesn't go up. The slow goes up by 10% every point, and it gains like 50 damage, which is pretty solid. And the cooldown is like 5 fucking seconds. Overpower is you goes up by 1 attack, and the mana cost goes up, so it's not the best thing ever to be to skill up, but it's still like really good. But and Fury Swipes, the damage only goes up by 5. Like the only thing that changes about it goes from damage attack from 15, and then for like 4 points, it gets twice as good. So I don't know. I'm not incredibly sold on like maxing the Fury Swipes, but for the most part, I feel like with Ursa, you can honestly almost level his shit pretty evenly, and you're like pretty well off. Like I'm even looking at like one of AUI's builds, and his last like points from level 12, 13, and 14 they're like different skills. Like he finishes Fury Overpower at 10, but Fury Swipes is only at 3 at that point. Like at level 10, he's 4 points Overpower, 3 points Earthshock, 2 points Fury Swipes. Like that's just some weird shit.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know like one of the big things that Ursa does is he's just like a really good counter to melee mids like Alchemist and Timbersaw and Dragon Knight, but to a lesser extent because Dragon Knight has all that armor. But I know like when he's picked as a mid, generally it is that like Earthshock heavy build where like at level 4 it's like 1-2-1 and you just like you get that bottle and you just pound them with Earthshock. You hit them twice and then they have to like walk back, and if they come back you hit them again and then you hit them again and you get like boots advantage. So I imagine that's like different than Safe Lane, of course, but Earthshock is like it's an ability that I as a person that doesn't play Ursa like really underestimate, because I used to just skip it entirely. I was like, dude, all this hero does is right click. Like I gotta get a blink. Why would I want to slow them? And yeah, Earthshock's stellar, honestly.
Dude, yeah, no, it's an absurdly good spell. Like 240 damage on a 5-second cooldown and like a really strong slow. I mean, that's pretty solid. It's just his mana pool is so shit. I like that almost everyone I'm seeing is going Mask of Madness, though. Outside of if you're going like a lifestealist build, like Mask of Madness is kind of the preferred lifesteal now, which is super, super good. And I just haven't been able to go it kind of, or in some of the games I've been going, or some of the games I've been playing for various reasons, but definitely in this game I'm going to try to work it in more.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know we talk about how like we like to pick Ursa because he's very self-sufficient. He allows supports to roam and such, but he is thought of a lot of times as a counter pick. So what are you usually counter picking when you do pick Ursa?
Lifestealer.
Lifestealer, yeah.
I mean,
I already listed the mid ones.
I mean, like Lifestealer, and then like any melee mid would be like Alchemist or something like that. It's like okay against Drow, like if you can get in there. But I mean, it's really just like it's a fucking incredible Lifestealer counter. It counters a lot of heroes that just aren't really meta. Like it'll counter Lone Druid, Wraith King. I don't know. It doesn't even really counter Sven though, because Sven is like the fucking ultimate man fighter, and that's like that's his prize. Like Lifestealer doesn't out man fight him unless Lifestealer is way more farmed. Ursa doesn't out man fight him. So on like the totem pole of like man fight heroes, there's Sven and then Ursa and then Lifestealer. Like that's the hierarchy. And then Spectre is somewhere there, depending on her farm.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about your build on Ursa. So Mask of Madness, obviously, you prefer. And then you just build a lot of things like BKB. His Ags is quite good.
Love his Ags. Love it. I can hardly play the hero without it, because it's such a luxury. Like it's an option that no other hero has, like a spammable mini BKB that like breaks you out of stuns and shit. Like
it makes you take like no damage.
Yeah, and it makes you take no fucking damage. Yeah, it's so good. So even when it's not the best item, I'll probably end up buying it. But there is a nice little like controversy, maybe not controversy, but there's always a debate in like an internal monologue in an Ursa's mind where do they want to get Diffusal Blade or Skull Basher first? And for the most part, I've been getting Skull Basher, but I see a lot of people really valuing Diffusal Blade more than Basher right now. So I may try that out this game. So just like, I don't know, I want to go into like a demo real quick and just like go through buying some items.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, actually, I mean, I think we're pretty content, so I think we're just going to hop into our game.
Yeah.
And, of course, you can watch the VOD from both our perspectives on our YouTube channel, .ptv1, that's a numeric 1, and it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So that's that.
Go over shit after the game. Man, there's so many Ursa things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll be talking ad nauseum, I'm sure, about our lovely bear friend.
Bear friend.
So goodbye.
Bye.
Completed our game, and I think for the future goings on of the show, I think we'll just announce the result at the start. We're beating it around the bush and having fun. We lost. It was not a good game. It was a quick game. They ended our suffering in 30 minutes and 49 seconds, which is nice. But the game was not great. I think we can both agree on that, right, Proud?
Yeah, it's pretty bad game.
Yeah. So to announce the teams, our team had, of course, safe lane, Ursa, Rubick, and to complete our trial lane, we had a Shadow Demon. Also, for reference, both these teams were a 3-stack and a 2-stack, so we had a 3-stack on our team. So take that information and use that to contextualize how this game ended up going. We had an offlane Tide Hunter, and we had a mid Phantom Assassin. The enemy team had an aggro tri-lane of Omni Knight Pudge Silencer against us, a safe lane Luna soloing against the Tide, and a mid Storm Spirit to match up with the PA. So, basically, if we're just going to talk about the game before we get into specifics, the way the game went was they aggro tried us, and we traded. It didn't go great, but it didn't go poorly. We got a few kills here and there.
It was fun. Like, I didn't die, which was good.
Yeah.
Like, I was like 0-0-4 or something, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, we traded a bit. I think I died a couple times. Shadow Demon got a couple kills, and, you know, it was what it is. Considering they aggroed us against us, you know, it could have been much worse. But the mid lane traded effectively. The Storm did pretty well. He had a 20-minute Bloodstone, which is late, but all things considered, like, our PA was much less farmed. And our offlane Tide apparently did not do well because Luna was very, very fat. She had some...
I mean, he did okay. They were like even on net worth. It's just she was able to farm at some point in the game.
Yeah, well, she got a couple rounds of Ancient stacks, and she had a couple team fights where she just like cleaned up all the kills with Lunar Blessing.
I think that was really
Lunar Blessing, whatever.
Was.
Eclipse. I just feel like Tide should like bully that matchup real hard, but instead he just kind of like traded farm.
He went Mana Boot Split Link instead of mech.
Yes.
So that's that.
That was a glaring problem. I noticed that as well. It was a very aggressive build that did not really pan out. So the way that kind of the flow of the game went was we took a kill advantage in the early game, but we couldn't parlay it into actual like material advantages, and they just farmed a lot. And then we had like 2 bad team fights, and they had a bunch of items, and then we lost. Oh, and they had Omni Knight, and like we had 2 physical damage.
That was the main
cores.
thing.
That was definitely.
That's why we had bad team fights. Is either PA would willfully blink in alone and just like get repelled on, or not repelled, get like purificationed on, and then Tide would have to follow up, or Tide would get hooked in and like ravage just to not die in 2 seconds, and then die because he doesn't have mech. And then I would like go in to salvage the fight, and then they would Guardian Angel, and I'd be like, well, that's that, and then we lose.
Yeah. Omni Knight is still a very good hero. There's a good reason he has a 60% win rate. That is for certain. And Omni Storm is a classically good combo. Omni Pudge is a combo we've even run on the show before. Like, that was just annoying. It's not like stellar, but it has like obnoxious potential. And Omni Luna is also very good and like very hard to deal with. And obviously, Proud, as you talked about in the first part of the show, was going to go for Diffusal. But once you're like chain losing fights, I mean, you're not Diffusal's not going to come in any quick term. And they like took over our jungle
Yeah.
because of the aggro lane, and like there wasn't a lot of place to farm. We had a terrible stack that like we thought Tide would take, but he decided not to. So there was a lot of problems in the game. I'll say my supporting is a tad rusty, and I thought I did fine, but I clearly made a few misplays, like positioning wise and just like Rubick play wise. But really, it's just like our Shadow Demon was super super greedy, and he was just like taking farm from the carry and the mid and the offlaner so that he could get ags.
Yeah. We kind of figured out that they were a three stack because at some point they just decided that no one should get farm if they weren't friends with each other. So that the Shadow Demon like the whole time would just be like shadow poisoning every wave that he could, and like fucking pop all his poisons the second it looked like one of us was about to get a last hit, and it was pretty impactful. Um, yeah,
It was
yeah,
just not a good game. Honestly, it's one of those games like this just happens in party ranked where like the three stack plays like a three stack, and this happens with two stacks also. But there's no like team coordination. It's just like one team decides or one group decides like, hey, we're a three stack, so we're just gonna play and ignore our other two people, and then when we feed and things go badly, we're gonna blame them. That's basically how this game went.
yeah. Really, the only thing I can like definitely take away from this game is like, I mean, one, obviously being behind on Ursa is super bad.
Yeah, and you could
But yeah, just really being like Omni Knight against Ursa is horrendous.
Yeah,
That is not good. Or Ursa against Omni Knight, I guess is the proper way to phrase that one.
yeah. It was not great. Like we would get close on kills, and then they would be just purification. You're slowed down because of degen aura. Repel is nice against like this. Like the Rubick Ursa combo is predicated on like, all right, we're gonna kill people because I'm gonna pick them up. You're gonna hit them a couple times, then I'm gonna throw them back. Then you're gonna hit them another couple times, and then they're gonna be dead. But when they have a heal from purification and they're repelled, so I can't pick them up, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're not doing any of that. And
Yep.
like you put levels
Yeah,
in Earth Shock, which is mitigated by Repel. Like it was just
but I needed to because that was the only way. Like I killed two people through Guardian Angel because I was just like
yeah,
an Earthshock spam bot in the middle of every team fight. But like, God, yeah, it's just it's such a shit matchup for Ursa. Honestly, it's like borderline unplayable. Like I would need to time my enrage for when all of their damage and when the purification was about to come out. Like it was just not good.
yeah. Oh,
And then I'd be in the thick of it, and then fucking after my enrage is done, Pudge will just like ult me, and I'll just sit there like, oh god, I would just die. Like there's no living through that game.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, reflect on it. Really, just like I honestly haven't seen that much Omni in my games recently. Granted, I haven't been playing
Yeah.
much like ranked, other than like R5 stack games, and like I've been playing unranked games with like stacks and all that. So I've not seen that much
Mm-hmm.
Omni, and this game just reminded me like Omni is freaking dumb. Honestly, like the hero is just so strong. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Do you want to talk about like hero specific stuff?
Yeah, I'll go through my items and my build a little bit. So, like, one thing that I've been working on that I see a lot more players, or rather that I've seen a lot of really strong players do, is like buying consumables. And like this game in particular, there was like a team fight that I bought like a clarity and a salve for because I felt like near the ancient stack I felt like something was gonna like brew there, so I bought like a clarity and a salve, and then like as soon as they got to me, the team fight was like about to happen. So I was like fucking awesome. So I just like popped my salve and my clarity, and I just ran up there, and I was like, totally full of health and mana, and I was able to clean up the team fight.
Yeah.
So that's been like working out pretty well. Also like when you're TPing back, you got me like a salve once, or rather, I bought a salve for you to give to me. Just shit like that. So I've been doing a lot more of like buying clarities and buying salves and that sort of thing. And I feel like that's definitely what Ursas are doing, at least buying clarities. Because I mean, every Ursa that I see has like no mana item ever, and very rarely has a raindrop. And the only way you're ever going to sustain your mana like that is either with 2 mana boots on your team, in which case we had 3, which was even still I needed more mana. Or if you just have a bunch of clarities, and I think that was totally the thing to do.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, uh, any of those carries where like you need mana, but you don't naturally want to build things that give you mana, it's just so rough to play. Same with like any of the mids that like if you play Jug and you don't build like drums or bottle or like a diffusal, it's like, all right, well, where do I get my mana from? It's like, all right, maybe I'll buy a Scotty so I have mana.
Yeah.
like it's just such a problem that you don't expect, and then it only really hits you when you really need it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me, on Rubick, I don't know. Nothing was too interesting. Honestly, I was so poor this whole game because the like Shadow Demon's decision was like, I'm gonna just go Aether Lens Ags, and he didn't get that far into it. He built Mana Boots, then he dissembled, built Aether Lens, rebought Mana Boots, and then got the Staff of Wizardry at 22 minutes, and then had that for the next 8, and was not able to get any more parts of Ags. I had Mana Boots, Windlace are obviously early. Early I like to have brown boots, Windlace, and a raindrop, and that usually settles all my mana problems. And then I get mana boots when I can, obviously.
Sure.
Even if I can, like obviously if I can afford the mana boots early, like if I like for some reason clean up a kill or get a first blood or something, then I'll go in for the mana boots before raindrop. But in the vast majority of situations, I definitely just go raindrop early. Because while it doesn't help your teammates, it does just mitigate your personal need for mana so much.
Sure.
And it gives you life, which obviously or it gives you EHP, which you so direly need. What's the word I'm looking for?
You are in such dire need for,
yes,
mayhaps?
Maybe. There's another word for it.
You need so badly.
I'm currently in mourning because Jota and Jin Kyung are leaving We Got Married, the best show, so my brain is not working properly. They're being replaced, though, by a couple that I'm excited for. So if anybody wants to hear me muse about that lovely show, We Got Married, come to Twitter, @Ursinity. Anyway.
Yeah, poor Jotaro.
Dude,
sucks,
Jota's the best. This show is like the only reason he's popular. Anyway, let's get back to Dota, where, love is not dead.
All right, I'll go over my like actual item build. So like I had stout shield and like a smattering of regen. I had like a fairy fire and a branch because I thought I'd be like, oh, I'm Ursa, I'm self-sufficient in lane, all I need is like one set of tangos and like a branch to make a double tango if I need, and then I'll just like shit on the Omni Knight or the Pudge. But then it was 3 people, so I had to like get a bunch of shit shipped out. And I got Boots of Speed first, and then at some point I was like, yo, I need to get my life back, and I was debating between like buying more. I think I already had a salve brought to me at this point, and I didn't know if I should go like originally with like my big burst of money that I had from like a decent fight, I was gonna get like Windlace and Raindrop and like a Tango, but then PA was bottle crowing, like just in the process of bottle crowing as soon as I decided to do that. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to get the courier for probably like 2 minutes now, so I might as well just like buy my Morbid Mask here and then like at least get my gold spent. And I think that was fine. And then so I had like basically brown boots, Morbid Mask, and then I got you to deliver me. Oh no, I got Morbid Mask and Windlace there. And then I got you to deliver me a Raindrop, and then I got my phase boots afterwards. So like as far as my small items I had, it was basically just like Raindrop and Windlace. I didn't go Orb of Venom that game because it just didn't totally seem necessary. Like the phase where I was like, there was definitely not a phase in that game where I'd be chasing people down. Like if Omni decided to heal someone, I'd have to back out.
Yeah.
There's no amount of like small slow that was gonna decide a kill in that game. So, and I just got like phase boots, and then I switched my Morbid Mask into a Mask of Madness, and then into Blink Dagger, and then I got another Raindrop and tried to finish a Diffusal Blade for the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
And that's it, really.
Yeah, honestly, like this game didn't go super long, so there's not like, it wasn't. So like some games, even in games that you lose, it's like there's ebbs and flows and peaks and valleys. But this game was really like we were doing okay, and then we realized we were getting behind like item wise, and then we realized we were getting behind level wise, and then we lost 2 fights, and then the game was just over. And then like we were just like flaming our team for 5 minutes, and that's it. So. Yep. There's not a ton to talk about, honestly, as far as I'm concerned. I think we covered all of it. So on that note, I think I'm just gonna hop into the plugs. And
I want to go over my like skill
build. Oh,
build.
okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so let's see, go to the scoreboard here. So I got Fury Swipes level 1, of course, because
Mhm.
you want stacks. Like it's press button, receive at least 15 damage, then it goes up every consecutive time. But it is applied on the first attack in case people didn't know. So like effectively, yeah, you start with 47 damage, but it's 47 plus 15. So you actually do like hit creeps for a pretty decent amount.
Yeah,
But you don't deny them at all, which I was
just
oh,
like
go on.
just like Blightstone and Desolator.
Yeah. Yeah. But then like I kept trying to deny creeps and I just like had no fucking damage, so it just didn't work at all, which was super like I was like, oh, I actually just can't stop them from getting anything, which sucked. And then I got 2 points in Earthshock because the way that the fights were kind of going, it was like we would start on someone and then like I would always posture to target switch as soon as Omni dropped his purification. I would then switch to the other person, so I wanted to Earthshock to hit like two people. And then when Omni like dropped at the purification, I wanted to be able to like walk away from the dude he's about to purify fast
Yeah.
enough, and then like switch to him. So I had like Fury Swipes, two Earth Shocks, and then I got 2 points in Overpower. Because going from 3 to 4 attacks was basically like the difference between a kill or not. And then at 6, I got Enrage, which was actually like we were in the middle of killing someone, and I knew I was gonna die, but like we just rushed down to kill that one person, so I was able to scale up Enrage. So like in the middle of fighting, I had like 100 health, but I got my Enrage off, and like that lasted long enough for us to be able to kill the Pudge right after I died. So that was good. And then I got a second point in Fury Swipe, so I was basically like 2-2-2-1 at 7. And then Guardian Angel kept fucking being the entire game, so I just got another point in Earthshock. And then I was like, and then a couple points in Overpower because I needed to be able to like burst someone down. That wasn't going to happen without 6 swings. And then another Enrage, and then Earthshock and swipes. And yeah, that was the game.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go through my build quickly because people value Rubik skills differently, I find. Of course I started telekinesis level 1, then I would go fade bolt, and then some people go back in for telekinesis to put the second point in, but I like having one value point of null field, especially in games like this where I actually ended up putting even more points into null field and leveling that pretty evenly with telekinesis because we had some CC from other heroes and we had a lot of burst damage. But the big thing was like we lost a couple team fights where it's like Eclipse just annihilated our entire team, and like Storm does a ton of magic damage, and Rot is obnoxious. Like they had a good amount of magic damage.
Yeah.
So I put a point in null fields. A lot of times I keep it at 1 point and then max telekinesis because like 10% magic resistance is like that's it's effectively a decent amount of damage over the course of a team fight, and it's for your entire team.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of one value point in null field. Leveling it up is like not great unless you really like are just dying all to magic damage like I was. Because look at the scaling, the first point is 10%, and then each successive point is only 4% difference. It goes up 10, 14, 18, 22. So it's one of
Yeah.
those
Total
abilities.
value point.
Yeah, it's exactly, it's a value point. Telekinesis also, like we had slows and we had Shadow Demon Egg, so I wasn't being solely relied on as the disabler. Um, and so that was kind of my build. Was I had 1 point and null field at 4, and then of course you always max fade bolt first and get ult at 6. I didn't get any really good steals honestly because I was just dying so fast. And Pudge was actually good with rotting after like immediately after hook, so I never got to steal hook. And that was basically like I only got to like what, like level 9 or 10 or something. Yeah, I got to level 10, so I didn't go very far. Skill wise. So that's that. At least for me. Do you have any closing comments on the game before I close it out?
Just don't play Ursa against Omni Knight. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a like maybe Shadow Demon is also very bad to play against, but really it's just Omni Knight. At least with Shadow Demon, I can like change targets
Yeah.
or like it ends. But with Omni, it's just
Yeah.
forever.
Yep. All right. So you can watch the videos that we just recorded on youtube.com/.ptv1. You can watch us in live video on twitch.tv/.ptv. I stream Proud streams. We stream Hakuna on a team practice, always on Sunday, and we may start doing it on Wednesdays now that the in-houses aren't on, unless they're doing something else. Because we're on hiatus in-house wise. Season 4 will be coming back in the new year, I believe after New Year's. I'm not sure what week exactly, but they'll be coming back. Rest assured, our good buddy Grouty, Grumbo, Gruton, Wiggly G Bag, Gordo.
G Bag and Grumbo. I feel like should be the next like I would nominate that as like a duo to run for something.
Yeah, G Bag and Grumbo. I would vote for them.
Yeah, President G Bag, Vice President Grumbo. Like G Bag is the one who gets all the attention, but if you're a stickler, like at least you know Grumbo's down to do business.
Yeah, oh, I'm all about it. So they're gonna do business next season of In Houses. Myself and Growdy, Grumbo, Wiggly G, etc. are gonna be at the Boston Major. He and I will be there all the days. Proud and friend of the show Skrunk will be there for Friday, Saturday, if I recall correctly. And so that'll be fun if you're going there. I think Rowdy was creating some kind of informal, casual meetup. And if not, I mean, it's a small event, so I'm sure we can get a hold of each other. Do get on Discord, Boston Major thing. Yell at me if you're going to be there, and we'll figure something out. So it should be fun. You can catch us on Twitter. I'm at Ursinity, Proud is at Proud Dota, and our show is at @Doppy_show if you want any and all details. I know they're doing the giveaway for last in-house season at some point in the near future. Roland is having a child, so that may, like, scheduling-wise, muck up the works, but it'll get done eventually. And if you win things and you're not there, it's fine. You still won them, and they'll just, like, get at you some other way. Our website is defenseofpatience.com. On there's an Amazon banner. You can click through that, and it costs you nothing else. It helps us just a little bit. Another way to support us, iTunes reviews, or to just tell a friend. Both of those help us a lot. That's the best way to advertise. And Cyphus on the Monday show made a joke that I wish I had thought of. He said, tell your friends I've already told all mine. And I've done the same. So I'm going to co-opt that joke because I think it's clever. And tell your friends about the show. Lastly, if you want to support us monetarily, patreon.com/defenseofthepatience is a way you can do so. We really appreciate it. You get some cool bonuses for it. Patreon exclusive podcasts, commission podcasts if you want to get to that tier, and the replay reviews, which are all coming out. They're a good time. In future months, we're going to be a lot more pertinent and quick with them. But since this was the first month that we were doing them, it was a little hectic, especially with Flub, who had never done them before, and Proud's being a perfectionist and going above and beyond. So mine are out, at least, and I look forward to doing more, because they're a lot of fun, and hopefully insightful. I know they've gotten good responses beforehand. So that's that. As far as I know, I don't think I missed any plugs. If I did, oh well. Reddit, r/defenseofthepatience. That's my last plug. That's about it. Goodbye. I'll miss you, everybody.
Great.
That's it. I don't even want to close the show like we normally do. I'm just going to say goodbye.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I'm going to close it a little more nicely than that. Goodbye, friends. I will miss you, and I hope to see you next Thursday, or whenever you listen to this show. Maybe a Monday, maybe a Tuesday, maybe a Friday. Who knows?
Maybe a Saturday, though?
Maybe. We're not a Sunday show, though. Definitely not a Sunday show.
We are not a Sunday school. You're going to church? You are not listening to the Thursday show.
Well, I mean, it's just the day, generally. Not even the church thing. Just, we're not a Sunday show.